So I use this every time with every woman. I either use it early on or use it later on when it's sort of time to get intimate, to sort of isolate and have a deep connection. So I use this in almost every set at some point or another. So I'm just showing them a personality exercise, and it's called a cube. Have you ever heard of it before? Okay, it's really cool. Yeah, you can sit down. So the cube is it's a personality exercise basically, and there's nothing. All you have to do is I'm going to tell you to imagine some things, and just imagine them, and I'll tell you what they mean afterward.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So just imagine like an empty, all-white room.
Okay.
Cool. You can tell she's imagining, by the way, because when she thinks, her eyes go up and to the right, which is the visual part of the brain. So you can actually tell you're picturing the visual image, which is cool. So in that room, put a cube.
Okay.
See the cube?
Mm-hmm. Is it white as well?
What's that?
Is it white?
Whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
If you're on your own. Is it big or is it small?
It's big.
Cool. And are you facing, is it on the ground or is it floating?
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground. And are you facing a flat side or a corner?
It's in the middle of the room.
But are you facing a flat side of the cube or a corner of the cube?
I'm sorry. I'm facing a corner.
Cool. And is it transparent? Can you see through it or is it solid?
It's solid.
Any particular color or design?
It's white, like the room.
Right, like the room. Cool. All right, add to this picture now a ladder.
Okay.
See the ladder?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, where's the ladder in the room?
It is on the left-hand side on the wall.
So it's against the wall, not against the cube. Okay.
Against the wall.
Is it high or is it low? How tall is it?
It's high.
Really high. And if you wanted to climb it, easy or hard?
Easy. Yeah.
Easy.
Be careful with ladders. That's all.
Okay. Cool. That actually tells me a lot.
Okay.
What's next? Oh yeah, picture some flowers.
Okay.
See the flowers?
Mm-hmm.
You see a few or a lot?
A lot.
Okay, cool. Where are they?
They're on the cube.
All right. Are they all one kind, different kinds?
They're all one kind.
And describe them just a little bit to me.
They're yellow.
Okay.
Long stemmed, like lilies.
Okay, yellow long stem lilies.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see them, what's your first thought? What do they make you feel?
They're pretty.
Pretty. Okay, cool.
And they're different because they're not roses.
Awesome. All right, that's cool. All that information actually helps. You see how screwed up you are. So add to this picture now a horse.
Okay.
See the horse?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it?
It's right by the cube,
And
looking at the flowers.
Just looking at the flowers. Cool. And what's it doing?
Just wagging its tail.
It's just wagging its tail, just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and if you wanted to give me 3 words that describe the personality of this horse, what would they be?
He's calm. He's comfortable. And he's aware of his surroundings, but he's at the same time just hanging out, being a horse.
Cool. All right, last thing. Add to the picture a storm.
Okay.
See the storm?
Mm-hmm.
Is it violent or gentle?
It is. It's outside of the room. You can see it through the window.
Right.
So you can't. But it's quiet in the room, so you can't really hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
And is it fucking shit up, or is it just chilling?
It's no, it's not. It's not fucking shit up. It's just
There.
yeah. It's a quiet storm.
All right, cool. Like the radio station.
Yes.
Do you want to know what all this
Like the
means?
song. Yeah.
Okay, I just made it up. It's just a joke. Are you mad? You can go outside now.
Okay.
So that's the cube guy. No, I'm kidding. It actually means something.
Okay.
But I will add in that joke, though. So it's really cool. I love those personality games where, like, you're running in the forest and this and that.
Okay.
But to me, this is the only one that's really accurate a lot of the time. It's the only one I like that is true for some reason.
Okay.
There's a book you can get called The Cube, but I did it, and just through field experiments, I changed it around a little bit, and I actually feel this version is better. So this is the version I'm going to go with. The cube is your self-image. It's how you see yourself. Okay. So even though you're sort of shy with like kind of closed-in body language, you have a very healthy ego.
Is that what it means?
No, yeah, no, seriously. The people with a small cube are very insecure. And sometimes that like guy strutting around the club who just looks like he's so full of himself, he might have a small cube because that strutting is just a sign of his insecurity. Okay. So you, even though you're kind of like have very kind of withdrawn, drawn in body language, inside you think you're the shit. And that's not wrong. I think that's healthy. Okay. So you have a big cube. It's on the ground. It's interesting because creative people Very creative people have floating cubes. People on the ground are practical day-to-day people.
Okay.
But here's the saving grace, which is you're facing a corner of the cube. So people who's facing the flat side of the cube, that's sort of average. The corner is like the visionary cube.
Okay.
So you've got a good combination of the day-to-day, practical things. You can get to places on time, except here today. But that was my fault. I called you late. That was my fault. So you can get to places on time. You can show up. You're a schedule person. But at the same time, you have kind of ethereal, visionary, artistic quality to you at the same time. So it's a cool balance. People whose cubes are see-through, their heart's on their sleeve. You can tell everything you need to know about them right away.
Okay.
People whose are solid, like yours, are a little harder to get. You're a little bit more protective. Someone has to get to know you pretty well to find out what's really there. But at the same time, it's white, so you have a certain openness. It's almost white, like a reflective openness. You reflect the other person you're talking to. You're very good like that. So it's like a little slippery. They think they're knowing you, but they don't really know you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
The cube is awesome.
Yeah.
It's true. So here's the ladder. Now what's interesting is most people, when they do the ladder, it's up against the cube, because the ladder is your ambitions in life.
Okay.
So normally it's about part of your personality and part of who you are. You're like ladders over there, off on the side of the room.
Okay.
So in a way that's a healthy thing, because in LA, everyone thinks that what they do is who they are. They're always being an actor or a director or a singer. At least you have some separation with your identity from what you do, which is nice. You have really, really big ambitions. That's why your ladder goes up so high, right? Mm-hmm. And you feel like you can accomplish it. You said it was easy to climb, but you have some doubts.
Right.
You're like, you got to be aware of ladders.
Right.
So inside, that tells me like some real conflict with your ambition, because not only is it away from your person, you've also been told to be aware of it. So it's like you want to climb it, but you also feel like, oh, it's wrong to do because I got to be, and I'm really going off on a limb because every person's cube is different. I've never heard the same one, so this one I haven't heard before. But my interpretation would be that you've always you don't really like careers. People are always talking about their career, and that's all they want to do in life because it's kind of robbed them of their soul.
Right.
So you kind of you want to do it, you want to climb it, you want to go there, but you don't want to do it for egotistical reasons. You want to do it for the right reasons. It almost kind of hampers you from getting up there because it really is about your own journey. That's my sort of interpretation.
Okay.
What do you think of that? Does that make sense a little bit?
It makes sense a little bit. The only reason that I sort of put the ladder, and I went just by a ladder, it's because I'm scared of heights a little bit. That's the only reason that I'm scared of ladders.
Right, but it might be a metaphor in your life.
Right, it might.
So, and by the way, when you're talking and describing these things, you can see that when you're talking about something that's pretty accurate, like she'll nod like that. When you don't, she'll stop a little bit. And that's something you can watch for your responses. So there's a cold reading technique where any yes equals and, no equals but. So in other words, well, yes, you're scared of heights, but that may be a metaphor for your life. The horse. This was what's really interesting. The horse is your ideal man. And do you notice that at first, when she described the horse, the second time she called the horse a he? Which was kind of cool. Yeah, the first time you said it, the second time you said he. And so your ideal man, and it's not necessarily anyone you've been with before or your type, it's your subconscious's ideal. That's why once you hear the cube, you can never do it again, because now you know what all the images mean. So the horse is your ideal man. So it's nice, it's healthy because the man is looking at the cube. You want someone who focuses their attention on you. And you don't want someone who's needy. You want someone who's stable. They're strong, they're calm, they're aware of their surroundings, but they're just chilling. Right. You want someone who's really easy to be with and to chill with, and who kind of going to look at you and be a life partner. And I don't know the kind of people you dated before, the kind of people you think you want, but what your subconscious ideal is this guy who can just roll, and he can hang, and he is calm, and he's chill and strong. That's cool, isn't it? Other people, one person was an actress who I did it with once, and her horse was tied to her ladder. So I'm like, well, that tells me what you're looking for. You want someone who can get you up that ladder.
Oh, that's great.
And a friend of mine's girlfriend once, she said she'd never been in love before. And so I'm like, okay, we got to do your cube. And we did it, and her horse was a unicorn. And I'm like, see, you're looking for something that doesn't exist. Childhood fantasy. Isn't that sad? But yours is good. Yours is really healthy. And your storm is good too. Your storm is the problems in your life and how they affect you. And so you won't see your problems like from a distance. You're like, I'm outside the window looking at the storm. So you're able to, and I don't know this, but I'm going up the cube, you're able to, if you have a problem, detach yourself and see it from a distance and figure out what needs to be done to solve it.
Yep.
And some people get super dramatic and there's a problem that just fucks up their whole life and they're totally neurotic, even if it's a little thing. Like they forgot to pay their gas bill that week. They're gonna start screaming at their boyfriend, it's gonna fuck up their life. They have violent storms that fuck shit up. Your storm is gentle, and you're watching it from the outside, and you're figuring out how to deal with it through the window, so you can step back from yourself and take a look at your life, which is cool and healthy.
Okay.
So that's your cube.
That's cool.
Yeah, isn't it cool? And on 1 to 10, what do you rate the accuracy?
Maybe like an 8. Yeah, certain things, but 8, 9.
8, 9, cool.
Yeah.